very proud of WT.
Yeah. No, we were stepping.
We showed up.
Speaking of proud of WT and shows, do we want to talk about the Invited production?
Yes!
Go crazy. Okay, so...
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to episode 12 of The Dip, brought to you by Open Space, Brave Space. My name's Ray.
I'm Sanai.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Angelica.
We have 4 people doing this podcast episode today.
And you ask why?
Why?
Because today's a very special episode, and that is why...
Mm-hmm. Well, why? Why is it a special episode, guys?
Because we went on a trip.
Oh,
We did.
And you want to know where we went?
Where?
Abilene, Texas.
Wow!
What did we do in Abilene, Texas?
Ooh.
Well, we went to
Hey,
KC.
no, we can't do that.
Hey! Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Gotta contain.
Well, we went to something called KCACTF.
Which stands for Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. Correct. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about what we did. We came back yesterday after like a 6-day trip. 4
It
days
felt
of,
like 3 weeks.
yeah,
It was-
5 days of excruciating work.
Yeah.
And we're gonna tell you all about it, the ins and outs and everywhere in between.
Everywhere in
So like and subscribe, comment down
crazy.
below. Your favorite acronym, because KCACTF is
Oh,
mine.
that's funny.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Okay, slay.
Okay.
All right, so,
Yeah. Wait,
what?
how do we want to do this?
I guess-
What is KCACTF?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yes.
so we said what it stood for. So, like, what?
What is she?
Yeah.
Who is she?
Who is she?
What is she about?
And why do we care?
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Why do we care?
Yeah.
Well,
Can someone look on their website? See if they have like an about page.
I'm sure they do. We should
Yeah.
have done this before.
But like,
we can cut this out.
I guess, yeah.
yeah.
Or we can do a general summary while we...
Yeah.
A general summary.
KCACTF is a nationwide
on you?
theatrical festival event that's
For
hosted.
college.
Hosted for colleges, hosted in different regions of the United States.
We are region
Where-
Total of
6.
8.
We do have a
Okay.
Oh.
a little bio
Yeah, go
here.
ahead and read it.
It says the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival is a national organization that exists to celebrate the educational and creative process of university and college theater. KCACTF promotes professional standards and provides students and faculty with opportunities to bridge the academic and professional worlds. Yay, there's also a lot more, but we don't need to read
That's
all
like
of
the
that
basics
right
of
now.
it.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty much
It's
it.
a convention center for theater nerds to enhance or show off our theater
Right, get
skills.
more like experience, especially like audition experience. I guess we can start off with Irene Ryan's because that kind of segues
Yeah,
into
it's
it.
like it can-
So
Yeah.
the Irene Ryan acting scholarship audition competition is one of the like big things, and it's organized by our lovely Kelly Heesick.
He's sick. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we had a lot of nominees. We had eight nominees for that acting scholarship. So it was Angelica and B for Bowl in a China Shop.
Yes.
It was Edgar and I for Once Upon a Mattress.
Yes.
It was Kendall and Savannah for She Kills Monsters.
She has this memorized. I love that.
Well, and then we also had Leeson for Sweeney Todd last year. And then we had Noah Santos, who was a self-nom this year. So, sorry.
How were they picked? Elaborate.
How is that?
Okay, so
Name
the
drop.
prelim round is you record, it's a self-tape thing. So, I mean, you also get some more, like, experience doing self-tapes doing that. So what you had to do is you had to perform 2 contrasting monologues. It could be up to 3 minutes. So you had to find 2 monologues, memorize them, work on them. We got to work with like the faculty members that were the directors of the productions we were nominated for. So I worked with Callie on mine. And so we had to submit like a form and stuff and a link to our audition video. And then there were like three selectors that had to watch all of those videos. They said there were over 100 submissions for the prelim round this year. So they had to watch all of those videos and then select 32, and then 2 alternates as well for the next round. We did not get to meet the selectors or anything for that. So we don't know what they specifically were looking for when they selected, the people that went on. But we did get responses.
And they were from different schools that kind of came to the festival. So we just went into a room and you were put into a group and they just kind of gave you their feedback on what your performance was and everything. But it wasn't necessarily the people that actually picked you. So
and with that, it's so difficult because
they could say something completely different than what other people.
Yeah, the respondents could have thought something. Entirely different. So it's always difficult to know if you should actually take the advice that you're given. But at the end of the day, they know that too, and they're like, this is just what I thought. So so that was fun. But there were 3 of us that advanced to the next round.
Yes.
Should have been more, but
We tried our best.
But Miss Victoria advanced to the semifinal round, along with our long-lost, loved Edgar K.
Get name dropped.
As well as Kendall Knapp.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Yes.
She's another student here at WT.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Talk about the semifinal round. How was that for you?
Okay, so the semifinals was in person. We didn't have to self-tape, thank God. But they actually announced who the semifinalists were after
like
the first show.
Yeah, in front of everybody.
Yeah, in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's always weird processing everything that's going on because everything's kind of happening at once. But for the semifinal round, we got to do it in this kind of ballroom area with a stage. And they have us perform one of our monologues from the prelim round and then a scene with a partner that can be 3-ish minutes long. The semifinal round can't exceed 5 minutes. 5 minutes, yeah. And so my partner was Abigail Martin, and we did a scene from the Children's Hour,
which I love.
I love this Children's Hour. It has great stuff. But I had a lot of fun. I was like, I don't want to work myself up about this at all. And so I did my comedic monologue and then the more dramatic Children's Hour scene. And it was fun. The room, before we go into actually perform, the room is always really tense. With the Irene Ryan stuff. So we're in this separate room before we get led to the actual room where we perform in, and it's everyone is in there with their partners and they're either warming up their voice or they're completely dropped into their character and yelling at the wall, or they're rehearsing their scenes with their partners in the room. And so me and Abigail for a little bit we were just right. Hey there.
I understand.
Right. Yes, also shameless little plug, but while we were waiting in that room, I got notified that my little brother won the state UIL competition for
Yes. Brother, we love Isaiah.
Yes, shout out to him.
He's yes.
He does stop motion. And I know this is completely changing subject. But yes, very proud of him. Love him. He's Mr. Bart McFergan on YouTube if you want to look him up.
Bart McFergan.
Yes, it's like a little inside joke that it's silly. But yeah, so very proud of him. And so I was like, I feel like they thought I was crazy in there because I was like jumping up and down, running around, and I couldn't get focused back onto like performing. And so I'm pretty sure they all thought I was crazy. But yeah, and they actually separated all the WT people into the different rounds.
Yeah.
So that was kind of sad. Everyone had to watch all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
If they wanted to see all of us.
Hours.
So, and it's
It was
so
so good.
long. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And those chairs were not comfy.
Let me tell
They
you.
hurt my back.
I went in and out for coffee and caffeinated drinks, and I was like, let's go. Round 2, round 3. Bites.
It's crazy. Yeah, because we had Kindle in the first round. And I couldn't watch that. I really wanted to. And then we had me in the second round and Edgar in the third round.
Yes.
So everyone else had to just sit and watch all 3 rounds. And they were like each an hour long, I think.
Yep.
But we're supportive. So, yes, we did stay for all 3 rounds.
They did. And
We
did
did.
that. It was very nice.
That's what we're here for.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Supporting.
There was a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then from that, we actually got responses from the actual like selectors, and that was really cool to like actually see. I got some good feedback, but then they announced the finalists after another show that night, and Edgar and Kendall made it to the final round. So way to go them. Yay. And then don't want to talk about the finals?
I mean,
I feel like
don't
I've been
know too
talking
much.
a lot.
Yeah, I only saw Edgar's performance for the final round. I missed all of Irene Ryan's entirety because I was. We'll get to it later. But I was a little playwright, so I did see Edgar's final performance and the finals were performed in the big auditorium that was there, which can be intimidating at sometimes. But that's where you got to show your truest self, and he killed it. He was so good. He's such a great comedic actor, and comparing his comedic stuff to his dramatic stuff, it's like a complete 180 for him. But he did really well.
Yeah, and he won Best Character Actor.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just like watching his slate, and then he like slumps into this chair for his dramatic
like,
monologue. He goes,
Yeah, it's like
Thing. Oh, I love it.
change of personality.
So
for
funny.
Sure.
yeah.
But
And then Kendall did really, really well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Her
was in the
scene
first
was
round.
awesome. Like, it was very simple. There wasn't like a lot of like big blocking things going on.
Yeah.
But just the
Yeah.
chemistry between her and her scene partner Logan.
Yeah.
Logan also won an
Shout out
award
Logan.
Yes.
for being the
he
best
did.
like
scene partner.
scene
and
partner
Yeah.
In the
Yes.
semifinal round,
Yes.
so.
He did.
But
I'm
yeah,
proud of him.
they
Proud of
both did
Logan.
an incredible job. But the girl who ended up winning, I forget where she's from.
She's from
University of New Orleans.
New Orleans,
She
that's what it was.
Yes.
But she was
Played
in Blood at the
Blood-
Root.
Yes.
Which we can also talk about the plays
The
that we
Invited
saw
Productions, yeah, we
also
can talk about
later.
them later.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was fantastic. I loved her.
yeah. It was
And it
really,
was super
really good.
unique too. Both years that I went to KCA, I've never seen anything like that
Yeah, that's
scene-wise at the
The
very
scene was
least.
really interesting.
Like almost abstract kind of feel.
It was like
about
slam
it. I
poetry
heard
style.
about it,
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on, but it was interesting.
She's like, I'm all about it.
I think that's like a style that UNO like does a lot because there was a lot of that in
Yeah.
the root as
Yeah.
well.
I think.
So I think, and Stephen was even saying because he was a respondent for them before. He said that they do a lot of like that dancey kind of interpretive like stuff. So
And I thought it was really cool.
I know.
I
it
liked
was
it.
It was
so
everything.
good.
It was everything.
Yeah.
So shout outs to them.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, so that was it for Irene's, really. Yeah, and then the finalists got responses from, I don't think, was it from the actual, like, selectors? I don't remember.
I don't know. I want to say
Maybe.
yes, but I have no idea.
Yeah. So that's it for Irene Ryan.
Yeah.
Did y'all feel like you learned anything, benefited from it at all? What's the big takeaway from Irene's?
From Irene Ryan's for the semifinal round, just I would say not. It was definitely a good experience to have that like audition in front of people and not like get super in your head about it, because I feel like that's how a lot of like cattle call auditions that we're probably going to go to will be like. We're all going to be in like one room and then they're going to lead us and then we have to perform for people that we don't know. So I would say to just have fun in in-person auditions. For the self-tapes,
self-tapes, I don't know. I'm never good with self-tapes. I kind of hate self-tapes unless it's like for like a film kind of thing. Because I feel like it's always hard to connect with somebody through a camera screen. Especially when you're just by yourself as well.
For sure. We did the showcase of all the Irene nominees.
Yeah,
and I also watched most of their videos too, and it's just way easier to to connect and like feel something when it's in person. So the self-tapes are difficult, especially like for the selectors to be like, well, I don't know. It's like this whole week has been so much that like art is subjective.
And that's the big thing.
So you just have to like maintain your own identity and be like, I felt good about this, and someone is also going to agree with that, but maybe not the people that we're actually selecting. So that is I would say that's my biggest thing too. As long as you are proud of what you did. Then So, and Helga, do you want to tell us why you didn't get to see Irene Ryan?
Yeah, why didn't I get to see Irene?
Why would you? She's like, I'm not about it.
I just skip it.
What's so
I don't want to see anybody. So I and my friend Savannah Bowl, we submitted plays back in November, actually. November. I was like rushing to fucking type that. But so me and Savannah, we both wrote 10-minute plays that we submitted in November, and we got chosen to be invited and it's like a whole competition thing, but it's the National Playwriting Program. We wrote 10-minute plays, and our 10-minute plays got chosen out of tons and tons of submissions. Our region had the most submissions, and 6 people were chosen. And me and Savannah were one of those 6. We were super excited, and that was a thing that took up like my entire week. Like
we never saw her.
Like I didn't see anybody ever. It was just me and Savannah, like doing stuff for our plays or going to workshops, because they actually made our playwriting workshops like mandatory. So that's also why like we were like, we gotta go to these workshops, gotta do these workshops. So yeah, that's kind of why I missed a lot, but it was really fun and a different look on art for sure, compared to like acting and directing. We had our orientation the first day that we got there to kind of like meet everybody and discuss that. We were paired up with directors, which is part of the SDC section, like a directing section of KCACTF. We were also paired with dramaturgs, which we got a dramaturg.
Yeah, dramaturg. Yes. I'm dead. They will never get my name. You're evil for that. They will never get my name right.
It was a little bit more correct than last year.
It was last time
it was a little more.
Sania Love. And then I looked on the little program sheet and it said Sinai Low, and I said, they will have my wrath.
They will have the wrath.
It's just like, that's not difficult.
No, because I feel like if they're taking names from some place, then why isn't it not like a copy paste?
Exactly.
The list of names. I don't know. But Sinai and Sania have both been a part of 10 minutes. Sinai has never done it. I've never been a part of it.
Sinai, do you want to talk about dramaturging and what that is?
Yes. So the first workshop that I went to was actually a dramaturgy workshop, because I knew like a little bit about it. My view on it beforehand was like, you're kind of like analyzing a script and connecting the world of the play, like script analysis class. So I was like, I'll see what it's about. And then at the workshop, we did a lot of hypothetical scenarios, like, okay, you're making a scene. So I was in a group that was like, take a classical play and make it contemporary. And it was actually really fun. We took the play Medea. We took the story of Medea, the Greek mythological the Greek theatrical play, and was like, what if it's contemporary? What if it was like in the 50s, 60s, and her husband was a politician, and he was all about like trying to get his candidacy and like up there and stuff like that, and she was in this picture perfect position with him, and she was just going crazy because this wasn't the life she wanted, and then she kills her children. No. But it was really good. And then afterwards, they were like, oh, we need some dramaturgs for like the 10-minute show. So if you want to be a part of that, like, let me know. So I came afterwards, and they were like, well, congratulations, you're a dramaturg. And I was like, yeah. So the process and what a dramaturgist is basically, in my perception of it, you can see it as like the stage manager for the playwright and the director. So basically, you're in the rehearsals and you're taking notes of things that could be developed, and also things that like maybe actors or people have missed, to make sure everybody is following the world of the play. Like, you ask the playwright what they want their goal and expectation to be, and ask the director what their goals and expectations are, because they can differ. And then you try to put them together to make sure the world of the play is following as it should be. Even little things like if there's like if an actor keeps missing a punctuation in their lines that is missing the expression of what the playwright wants, you go to the playwright and be like, hey, do you want them to do that? Did this? Or this is what I think, or whatever. Professionally, in the professional world, the dramaturg would collaborate with like everybody, cast and crew, who works with the show, because everybody is building the world of the play. So even, for example, if the dramaturg collaborates with the costume designer is designing things, not just like to make the characters look pretty or whatever. It's like a lot of their costumes have stories and meanings. So the dramaturg might explain the world of the play, and they might like go back and forth. So the costume designer can take that information and do what they want to make the designs they want. So basically, it's kind of like a supervisor making sure everybody is following things how it is. So I dramaturged one of the shows. Unfortunately, not my lovely ladies. I dramaturged a play called You're Not, Are You?, which dealt with some heavy topics. Unfortunately, I was only available to go to 1 out of the 2 rehearsals, but it was really nice. And I talked to the director afterwards and told her my suggestions and my clarification points and stuff like that, and we really switched ideas. So I like to dive into that. I only went to a few workshops, but a lot of them were just like outside of the realm of acting and musical theater, other things that I could look into. So that was one, and it was really nice. So I suggest dramaturgy for anybody who's interested in it.
Sania Love approved.
Yes, Sania Love approved. I'm going to change my government name just to be like that.
Yeah, well, and then as a playwright, like working with the dramaturg is like super helpful.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a way to like help make sure that your story is still clear, and the point that you're trying to get across, everybody's understanding that. Mm-hmm. So that was super helpful, and it was so cool, especially having a new play that like nobody knows, and getting that feedback back. So we got all those things, and we also held auditions throughout the entire festival, which anybody except the people that made semis for Irene Rhines could audition for, and we sat in rehearsals for like 3.5 hours. It was a long one, but it was a good experience to kind of see people that you don't go to school with audition, because that's always interesting to just see how people are in a very like vulnerable like space. So I thought that was really nice. I got to cast the show how I wanted to cast it, and they were all amazing. They were also super excited as well. So yeah, and then we had 2 rehearsals, like Sinai said. We literally only had a rehearsal on Wednesday because auditions were held on Monday. So we had we had auditions Monday, we had a rehearsal Tuesday, and a rehearsal Wednesday to kind of get ready for a stage reading that we were going to have that morning on Thursday. And so we got all that stuff prepared. I did have a little little time with my team that I had, but overall the outcome went out really well.
So good.
Like literally everybody from WT was there except the people that were in and helping with finals for Irene's. So the support system was great. There was like people standing.
Yeah.
Like it was really good, and I think overall the readings went really well and to the most that we could probably hope for. And then we got our responses afterwards. Not from the people that were the selectors either, just from people that are very educated in like new playwriting. One of them was from the girl, she was a national chair for the new play program. And then another guy from Region 2, and then a selector from SDC, which is the directing stuff. And my response went really well, you guys. They kind of ate me up, honestly. And they told me that I should keep writing. And if I don't keep writing, they know my name and where to find me. And they will hunt me down. So
in the best way.
It was so good and so amazing to hear. And yeah.
then she won an award.
And then I won an
Yes,
award.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It was so cool. It's called the Jim Outlaw Award. And the guy his name is Jordan. He's from Texas State. He's a playwriting professor there. But he said that Jim Outlaw was actually his mentor. So this award like really meant a lot to him. He said that like Jim was like a kind of guy that like didn't care about receiving awards or anything. They just fully cared about his art and like the way that it was. And he was like, this award goes to or like the person that gives it like gets this award is like fucking badass or whatever. And he said that in front of everybody, and I was like, all right. And then he called me up, and I was like,
It was everything. It was
and
so
it's
good.
yeah,
It was
it was like the best thing that I could probably ask for. So yeah, that was my time. I was fully involved in that the entire time, but it was such a great experience. I learned so much, and I'm a playwright, guys.
Yeah.
She's a playwright,
Oh wait,
certified.
speaking of,
Certified.
do you want to tell the people what your play's about?
Yeah, what
Like
is
the
it?
name of your play and
Right.
everything?
They're like, what is it?
My play is La Última Llama. I'm actually gonna.
Do you have a?
And I'm gonna read I was gonna read my dramaturg thing, but it's on my phone.
Oh,
Can you?
yeah, I don't care.
Is it?
Can you?
It's on the.
Oh yeah, we
It's
can
on-
get bios from
Anybody
it somewhere.
have the?
Yeah.
I don't have the QRO.
Is it
QR
QRO?
QR code.
Is it dramaturgy?
It would
it
it would be on
playwriting?
Yeah.
Maybe
But it was very good.
it was really.
Who are some of the
good.
people from WT that did like the voice acting? I know Jackie was in Angelica's play,
Yeah.
and she was fantastic.
Okay,
Noah was
hold
in
on.
one.
Yeah, Noah was in one called Good Home Cooking.
Yeah.
And that one
She
advanced.
also won an award.
Yeah, she won
She
an
won
award
Best
for,
Actress, right?
for
Best
outstanding
actor?
performance in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
10-minute play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send
So
this
shout out
to you,
Noah.
Victoria.
And then we had Ty Thompson, who read stage directions.
Come on now. Sterling Knight, who also read stage
I
directions.
sent
Yeah.
it to you,
And then
Oh,
I
okay.
texted it to you.
was there someone else, or am I
Maybe
crazy?
if it went through.
Let me see. There was.
Okay, Noah, Jackie, Ty, Sterling. I want to say there was someone else, but I can't remember what. There was Good Home Cooking,
Okay,
and that was
nothing
just
in
Noah.
mind.
There was the
Grave one.
Graves didn't have anyone.
There was Savannah's.
Savannah's didn't have any of ours. What was the second one?
Was it a
There
mother?
was a Good Home Cooking,
Yeah.
which was by Jackson. He goes to the University of Arkansas.
Very
There was
good.
Graves by Annika. She's from Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
There was A Mother by Madison. She goes to Texas State as well. You Not Are You by Kate. That's the one that
I
Sinai
did.
dramaturg
Yeah.
for. She's also from Texas State. And then Atonement is the one that Savannah wrote.
Who's the person we're missing? We got Ty, Sterling, Noah, Jackie. Was there a fifth, or am I
think
crazy?
that's
I think that's all of them.
I
Because
think-
they're looking at the
That's
list.
all, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't Caleb do something?
He did
He did,
a one-act play.
one-act.
One act.
Yeah.
He read
That's
for
what it
one
was.
act.
Yeah.
So in the,
Caleb
play,
did a
in the
one-act.
playwriting competition, there's a 10-minute section and there's a one-act play section, and you could submit either or. And there was 3 that were picked for 1 act and then 6 for 10 minutes.
That's what it
which
was.
the Jackson, who wrote Good Home Cooking, also had a 1 act submitted as well and got chosen, and he won both.
Yeah.
Of them.
Oh, yeah.
He won both of them. I was
Smarty.
like, oh,
Smarty.
I know, that's so
He's a
crazy.
smart boy.
Busy.
But this is the little thing that my dramaturg came up with to kind of say what my play is about. But La Última Llama, an awe-inspiring celebration of life, culture, queer love, and family, follows the story of young Alejandra during Dia de los Muertos celebration following the death of her father. In search of her dad, herself, and her dad's favorite conchas, she's reunited with him and finds acceptance, courage, and strength in places she least expected it. It's perfect.
It was a very good
Sums it all
show.
up.
It was really
And
good.
Atonement by Savannah was also
Yes.
very, very
Yes.
good.
2 very great shows.
Yes. Very proud of
Yes.
WT.
Yeah.
No, we were stepping.
We showed up
We
and
were
showed
stepping.
out.
Speaking of proud of WT and shows, do we want to talk about the invited production?
Yes, Go crazy, go crazy, go crazy.
Okay, so Sinai and Angelica are both cast members of Bull in a China Shop,
What?
which was invited to perform in Abilene. So, guys, what was the feeling of getting to do it again?
So many
It was
feelings.
crazy. So basically, we did the show like a year ago, like
Literally
from this
last
time
spring.
now. Like last spring, we did it a year ago. Just getting to do it back, I think we
was
were
so
just all so excited, and we just like loved the show so much, and we just loved being together.
Yeah. Last year we did it in the Black Box. That's
Yeah.
where we originally performed it. But because Invited Productions did it in an auditorium at the convention center, we had to move it to the conventions. We had to move it to our auditorium here at WT. So we only had a week of rehearsals. But we picked it up real quick.
Yeah, we picked it up real quick.
Yeah.
She was like, you need to come up with your lines, kind of basically memorize. And so we had Monday and Tuesday to kind of rerun our blocking. And then Wednesday, they were like, all right, all the tech elements, you're getting costume, hair,
Right.
makeup, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, God, that was crazy.
It was crazy. Then
yeah.
we performed for here on Thursday?
On Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
So, yeah, so
And it was
Wednesday, Thursday, we were
fantastic.
polishing.
They had not missed a beat.
Yeah.
Right.
It was cool to perform here first because
Yeah.
there was a lot of students that like hadn't seen it or anything, especially a lot of the new students and a lot of like transfers that were like really excited to see it. I think I was way more nervous to perform here than I was at KC. I was literally gonna like throw up trying to like before I went on for you guys on Friday. But that was kind of how I felt about it. How did you feel about?
I think
Fridays?
I was a little more nervous for doing it at Abilene because on the Thursday before, like every single day we were just like playing around, we came up with new ideas, we were having fun, and then Thursday it kind of felt like a routine, kind of felt automatic, so we were like, I mean, okay, but Friday there was energy, it was everything, and we loved it, but I think just because of how much power we put in the Abilene performance, I think I was getting more nervous for that because they were like, "All right, guys," and I was like, "Don't It was so good. It meant so much to us because when we closed the show last spring, we knew there was a possibility that we could have been chosen for KC. Me personally, I was like,
there's no way.
There's no way we wouldn't.
no
There's
way
no
we're
way we
not.
wouldn't. We're just those girls.
We're just those
It's what it is. So even though we were doing it the last time, there was a part of me that knew we were going to see our characters again. But, oh my gosh, like for me, for my last scene and my last lines, every single step I took off that stage, I knew was my last step of ever doing Dean Welsh again, because that is that's a show that I know I will never do again. In a good way, because if I do it somewhere else, there's gonna be different people, different costumes, different music, different set, different experience, and I just want this to be for me and these memories. We really gave it our all in Abilene. The story means so much. I don't know if we talked about the story. If you want to explain it.
Yeah, the story is basically follows Marks and Wooly, which they were actually like real life people. It was kind of, I don't even know what time period.
The late 19th century, like the 1800s to the early 1900s.
In the entire show, it's only 90 minutes, and it runs through like different time periods.
40 years.
Yeah,
40 years through it. And it kind of just follows Marx and Molly's relationship and how they dealt with during the Women's Revolution era, and kind of just their relationship and the people around them that kind of affected them.
It's based off of the letters.
The letters that they wrote.
From each other.
Because originally, like, before the playwright Brenna Turner wrote about these women, I'm sure most of the world did not know about these women. And the fact that Wooly, she went all the way to China and had peace talks with Hitler about World War II and about women's suffrage and trying to stop the nations from having their World War conflicts. They were also trying to change the seminary that they were in to be more accepting and let women be more than just a factory for mindless wives. I'm like quoting after quote. So it's so special. And not only did we perform it last year during a really major time at WT with the protests and the drag show, we just performed it again, and it was like even more important than ever. And we told the story to a lot of people who would understand, because theater has a lot of people from different backgrounds. So it resonated to a lot of people.
Yeah, we were like super hyped. Like the night before, we did like a line through in
in my room.
We did a line through, and we were all just like, we were having fun.
We were silly.
We wanted to make sure that we knew our lines, but we were like doing little accents and like just playing around.
Yeah.
And then we were up like everybody was up like super early to load in.
Yes.
You gotta be there at 7:45 a.m.
He's like, for you.
For a 4-hour load-in,
Oh, yeah.
which I wanted to get to next. How was y'all's load-in experience? Because let me tell you right now.
How was your loading experience?
Oh yeah, lighting. Yeah.
Look, here's the thing.
Oh my god.
Abilene Convention Center, a fantastic venue. Loved the place. A lot of great different little rooms and whatnot. That catwalk, because it was myself, Noah Santos,
I saw a
and
video.
You were
Violet.
up there.
Not only was it high, there were like a billion different safety violations. It was scary. It was dark. We had to wear harnesses the whole time, and it sucked.
Oh my
None
god.
of the lighting was good. Literally, okay, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but like downstage center when you were performing, there was like a dark space.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because the light that we had covering that, the patch that was connected to, so it could like, it wasn't the light itself, it was like the wire that it connected to put it into the computer.
Yes.
It was so like broken and messed up that like it barely even worked. So they had to like tape it and tie it up with ropes and stuff to make it hold. And it held for like when we got down from the catwalk. But like 12:05, we're all like standing outside doing the door crew before the house opens. I forget who, it was Rachel. Rachel came in through the doors and was like, Ray, you need to get up to the catwalk right now. Take my wrench, get up there. I had no idea what it was for, but I ran as fast as I could. I went up those steps, I went up there, all the way up to the catwalk. It was really scary, no harness, whatever. And they were like, actually, never mind, we got it resolved, whatever. Angelo, our lighting teacher, director, he just made some of the side lights extra strong and like put it towards the middle, but we couldn't fix that downstage center light. That and a million other problems were up with that catwalk.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry.
hated that place and it sucked.
Oh no, y'all were high. Like I could
insane.
barely see y'all, and then I was like, "Is that right?" And you were like,
Yeah.
I was like,
It was just tough trying to move around, because also like part of it too was like in our catwalk you can like easily walk around and you can have like 2 or 3 people in a row like like widthwise. There, I had to like shimmy across like this. I would have to like crawl down sometimes, because there were like sometimes just bars that were like up to here that you just had to like limbo under. It was so stupid, and I hated being up there. And like we had to be up there for like 3.5-ish hours.
oh my god.
Yeah.
No,
They
shout
were
out
really
to
free
all of our
climbing.
WT
Lighting
Yeah.
people.
lighting.
I'm
and
crazy.
WT,
But
because-
anyways, sorry, I just wanted to get that off my
No.
chest.
No,
on
please.
this podcast.
I didn't know you
needed
needed
to
to do
do
that.
I needed that.
But yeah, how was y'all's loading?
Well,
How was y'all's loading lit otherwise?
I keep comparing it to like IKEA because we had to like first of all we had to dismantle the whole set to like transport it to Abilene. So it was like everything was in little pieces in our truck, and And then when we got there, it was like rebuilding the whole thing. And so we all had like these drills. We were all strapped with aprons with screws in them. And we were like, yeah.
And we were like,
yeah.
I love that.
It was pretty fun, actually. I felt like Bob the Builder.
Yes, period.
Yes.
We said, we need a 5/8 screw and a wrench. And she was like, I got you.
Well, because I was like,
In my bag.
yeah, literally. I was like, okay, so these screws are for this, these screws are for this. I was like, so ready, we're so ready. And yeah, it was actually really fun. Yeah, there's something really fun about having a drill in your hand, and you just feel so powerful.
You just know
The
what to do.
adrenaline.
Come on now.
And like you have like a certain amount of time to like set that up. We had 4 hours. Y'all got that up in 2.
Y'all really
Y'all got that up in 2 hours.
And it was the
Y'all
most-
skirt.
It was the most complicated set.
Yeah, it was the most
Yes.
complicated set.
That was brought to the
By far.
festival.
Yeah.
Yes, we literally brought the entire place like there. Some people had like
thing.
trees or like
platforms,
signs.
little
Yeah,
things.
no babes, we bought the block.
The whole thing.
We
The whole
built
thing was
a
there.
whole set.
It was
there.
It was really
with walls and all these other
Yes,
things.
Yeah.
letters, everything. It was really good.
Yeah,
It was
and
really
and then
good.
because of that, we got the
We got the golden hand trust for best loaded and loadout crew of a show.
Shout out
Yes.
to Jonathan
John
Landon.
John Landon.
I think
so
John Landon-
excited.
John Landon was my favorite moment
He deserves
because
it.
like, during
Yes.
the like at the end of the week, we had this like award ceremony where they gave out all the awards for different things, and that's when we got the award for like best load and loadout crew of a show. And John Landon, our like the head honcho for like the whole crew, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was really the only award he cared about. So when they started, when the guy came up to announce the award, he literally sat in his chair like this.
Yeah, he was like he was clocked in.
Yeah.
He was-
And when he got announced, he went, yes. And then he went up, and he went up and got it. And everyone was just so happy. We were like,
That was the best moment.
He
of
was
the
rosy
ceremony.
cheeked. He was not letting go of that thing. He said, "Yeah, this is mine."
He said, "I earned
yeah.
this.
He
I
turned into
earned
a
this."
kid out of
And we
candy.
we earned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Like,
did.
Y'all got it up
We
in 2,
did.
and y'all took it down in 30. And so
That's crazy. That was the
crazy.
fastest. We had like a little practice run, like a couple days before
Yeah.
we went, and we were like overtime,
Yeah,
but
we
we
were
did what we
overtime.
needed to do. But I
Yeah.
think everybody kind of knew basically the basics and the guidelines. We were like, okay, we know the structure, we know the facings and the crown moldings and all this, so like let's just do it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
that was really beneficial for us to have that day.
Yeah, it was
of-
long, but it was necessary.
It was a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
but it was worth it because John got that award.
Yes, we did it for you, John. But
Yes,
it
we
was
did.
really great. Even the production of it.
Yep.
The audience was amazing.
Well, before though, in the dressing room,
Yes, we were eating
We
it.
were getting
We
so
were
hyped.
partying. We were
so ready.
partying, like, and Angelica had the playlist, and we were just every
We
single
were
day.
dancing. We were
like,
enjoying
it was
every last
fun.
moment for sure.
We were doing warm ups together. We were
We did
just
a little magic circle with Jazz.
Yes. There were some tears before,
There were some
and then there
tears.
was every single tear on earth afterwards.
Yes.
But
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about the way
Yes.
it went.
The audience.
Oh my
The
gosh,
audience
the
was-
audience was just everything you would want. They were laughing at every single joke, even jokes that I didn't know Dean Welsh had. They were like, "Oh, she's so funny." I was like, "I'm being serious." Like,
Unreal.
real. And they would like clap after every single scene, which was nice. They really loved Pearl's monologue.
Yes.
They ate it up. They were doing gasps at
were
things.
It was
Yeah.
so
No. They were
amazing
like-
getting to be in the
Yeah.
audience for that show because we
I'm
were like,
so
oh, I
glad.
wonder how they're going to react to this. And we just heard
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Whenever me and Signa came out as Marks and
Yes.
Pro
Yeah.
for the first
And
time,
gotten fed
like
for
backstage, me and Signa were like, if these people don't react, we're gonna be like something's
Yeah.
going wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing
no,
something
there
right.
were everyone.
The moment we walk
was
out, because you
stunned.
can like see us walk to our
Yeah.
like
And, like,
spots
get
and
into
stuff,
the
and
bed.
get into the bed and stuff. From the moment we walked out, we just said,
They were like, no.
and I'm literally sitting on that bed, like looking at the book, like, okay, calm down, don't break, like hold it in, because it was so crazy.
It was
And then like
Yeah.
the next scene after when like
when Wooly comes
Wooly
in.
comes
Yeah.
back home
Yes.
and y'all
Come
come back,
early.
everyone went,
We
oh
know, yeah. We heard it backstage and we were like, oh, this audience is
Everyone was
everything.
so
Yeah.
invested.
They
They
were
were
so
so
invested.
invested, and they were hanging on to every word. We literally had them in the palm of our hands.
Yes.
They were
Like,
eating it
They
up.
were eating
Yes.
it up.
Everyone's
eating it up.
monologues just got like rave reviews and stuff like that. we really worked on before the house opened too on our diction.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell-
It's like 1,000 seated auditorium. It's big. It's so
massive.
big, and it even has a balcony seating. So we knew, because there have been like shows in the past that have performed, but maybe it wasn't exactly clear because your volume's filling the space. But you got to make sure you're really enunciating as well. So we did warm-ups for that. Like, we wanted to make sure it was as perfect as we could for the last time.
And it paid off because this production was definitely like, there was an air of like professionalism to it where like it wasn't difficult at all to hear anyone, which was one of like the main gripes about the other
other
productions.
productions.
Yeah. So it definitely paid off, and it's just so good.
It was our best performance
It was.
ever.
We really left it all out there because we knew it was going to be our last one. And
Our
we
heart.
were like, last one, best one.
Everyone's last lines. So I could tell that everybody was feeling their last lines.
Yeah.
Pearl's monologue was her last time, and then y'all had the very last scene, and I had the second to last scene. So we were just like, and then Callie was, she was actually like behind the scenes.
Yeah, she actually sat backstage.
Yeah,
and
she was like, she
backstage stuff.
Leanne was actually back there too.
Leanne was too,
because there was a hole in one of the curtains, and Leanne's our costume professor, so she just wanted to pass the time. So she got some needle and some thread, and she sat crisscross, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so funny!" and just like sewing it up. I was like, "Leanne, these are your curtains. I love her." It was great. It was everything.
It was really special, and it was like everything that we could have ever wanted.
Our respondents were really sweet too. We had a man and a woman being our respondents, and when the woman was talking about how important the show is, she started like tearing up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they talked to us in all facets, like tech and acting and stuff like that. So yeah, we really did that show justice. It was everything.
Yeah, everybody involved was just super passionate about it, and just made everything really better. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was our little experience.
Yay.
It was
Yay.
so
Yay
good.
Yay for Bowl.
Do we want to talk about the other shows before we move on to the next
Yeah,
asset?
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. The first,
So first show was Galatea,
Galatea.
by
Sam
Houston State.
That
Yes.
was one of,
It was pretty darn good. Good way
Yeah.
to start off the festival.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
good start off to it. I love queer stories, so
Yes.
that's always gonna.
It was
be
like
for me.
a Greek mythological adaptation on a story.
It was very comedic.
It
And,
was.
Yeah,
and, like
I love the
very
dads.
on
They
the
were
nose
everything.
comedic. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
style for sure, but it was funny.
Yeah,
It was
I agree.
funny. It was really good.
Like you could tell the cheesy style of it by the time they brought out like the houses
puppets.
made out of like
Super-
cardboard
yeah.
boxes.
The gods were
Yeah.
And
puppets.
I
It
had
was
heard that
campy,
everything was
but
like
it
from
was-
recycled material too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It looked like it did.
It
Yeah.
was campy.
They also came from performing in a black box as well.
Oh.
I think
I feel
most
like
of
there
the
were a lot
shows-
of
I think
black box shows.
There was a black show.
No, sorry.
Black History Month, yeah.
Yeah,
But
so that was the first one, and then we went second.
Yes.
Which I think went really well. I say so myself.
And the next one was Blood at the Root.
it was really
From the
good.
University of
From
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yes. It was great.
It was so
It
good.
was so
I'm
good.
like, I need that script.
No,
I
me
need
too.
that
I want to
script.
read.
I was stunned by
it.
the set. Yeah. The set was really cool.
There were so many good moments. They also, they're all about like I don't know if abstract theater is the correct word, but they
Yeah.
were definitely using
They
their
were
bodies to
Yeah.
tell the story. Like they were doing step routines,
That
and
was
they had
so cool.
that was
I
so
love
cool.
that. The music that they had too was
The music,
so
the
The sound
sound
design
design.
was like
So-
my favorite
so
one out
good.
of all.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
loved
for
the songs
sure.
that they used.
It was like original. I feel like it was original stuff. It might have
Yeah,
been.
one of the songs, "Strange Fruit," is by Billie Holiday, who's a famous Black singer during like times like Ella Fitzgerald and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
They had a lot of like
Yeah.
hip hop instrumental ones.
Yeah.
Backgrounds that could definitely. Tell.
Yeah, we were all like every single transition.
was
we
like-
were
I was like, I know the song. I was like,
Yeah.
right.
It was like an Eminem instrumental.
Yeah, there
There was-
Someone-
I was like, is that
Like,
Eminem?
Lamar instrumental.
When the
Yeah.
yeah,
Really
it was
good.
good. It was good.
It's really good.
And then the lead of that show
Was
was
the Irene
Irene
Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah,
Well
recipient.
deserved.
So you could
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah,
It was a good show.
Did anyone see Lizzie?
Oh, I didn't see
It
that.
was really late at night.
It started at 9. It was the only musical that was there, and it was like a 2-hour show with
Yeah.
like an intermission as well.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
it
a
was a
rock
long
concert
day.
type
Yeah,
musical.
but it basically follows the story of Lizzie Borden, which if you don't know Lizzie Borden, there's like a little saying. It's like Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. Then something, I don't know the rest of it, but the rest of it where she basically axes her father as well. Yeah, it's like the opening song too. I wanted to see it so bad because I love like crime.
I also wanted to
stuff
see
like
it.
that, but I was like, I can't.
Yeah, it
It's
was
very intriguing.
We had to go to bed.
Yeah, sorry, none of us watched
Yeah.
it.
We had a lot of early mornings and late
Yeah,
nights.
that one
Yeah.
was brought by Tarleton State. I heard that they started the first act in like period clothing, and the second act they changed into like rock.
Oh,
clothing
interesting.
as well.
I heard it was kind of
That's
like in the
really
style
cool.
of Six, like a
Yeah, I heard
yeah.
about that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard that there was a watermelon axing on stage.
Yeah.
And then the girl took the watermelon and ate it, which made her a cannibal.
Oh.
Which I don't know if that follows Lizzie Borden. I don't think she's a cannibal.
They axing a watermelon on stage. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
that's not.
That sounds fun.
Apparently,
That
it was
sounds
like
sick.
it was
Splash
a dummy that
zone.
had like
Yeah.
a watermelon head, and it had like a what is it? A sign that said the father.
Oh,
That was it. And I was like,
dang.
all right.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. It's all I
It's
really heard about
implying
it.
that she ate her father's head.
That's what I'm saying.
taste
That's
like
why I'm like,
watermelon?
I don't think that's.
Maybe just to add
Okay,
to how
yeah.
badass she was. or something.
I heard that they had a longer load-in than we did. They had 5 hours, but they did have some lighting technical difficulties. The house lights apparently came on like 3
Yeah.
times. Heard about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think like some of the issues they had to like patch stuff in while the show was going on. They had to,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I
bring
heard
things
about
up
that.
or whatever.
But they did have an on-stage band, which I thought was really cool.
That's
Yeah.
so
Galatea
cool.
also had like
They
Foley
had-
sounds
yeah,
on
they
stage.
had a
little thing.
girl-
Oh, like a
little
girl on
Foley.
the side, like a Foley
Someone
artist.
singing.
That was pretty cool.
It was
She
really
did like
cool.
harmonica,
Live music.
violin.
Yeah, she did.
And Helica was our playlist for our show. Like we had a bunch of recorded
original
songs.
song.
I forgot to do that.
It was
Yeah.
our
I
girl.
sang all the pre-show,
music. It was
songs.
so
and they went really
good.
hard, actually.
It was really
Yeah,
good.
Thank you. I was in my empty era for a second.
Yeah.
Trying a little bit of everything.
Empty era.
Made by the poetry of Marx herself.
Yes, it was all from the.
Yeah,
All original?
the lyrics.
I did
yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
sick.
So Christian, our sound designer, like he was like, okay, this is about women, like let me dive into it. So then he explained it in the respondent thing that he wanted to mesh the modern writing of the play with the period that it was in, so modern and old, and like mix it together. And then he found a lot of Marx's and Helica's characters' poetry and letters to her lover Wooly. So he like made them into lyrics and then got her to sing it. It's so good. It's so
That is
good.
really cool. I didn't know.
Find it on Spotify when it gets on Spotify.
Oh, somewhere.
Somewhere.
Album dropping soon, if you know, if you will. But yeah, that was really all of the productions.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, there was also the
3?
invited like.
Oh,
scripted-
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
What was it
Talk
called?
about it.
Someone is going in the ground.
Emily is going into Elizabeth.
Elizabeth
is
is
going
going
into the
in.
ground.
Yep, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so Elizabeth's going into the ground was the Knights of Galatea.
The Night of Galatea.
The Night of Galatea. That was a one-act play written
Yes.
by an MFA student at UT.
Emma Watkins.
Emma Watkins. She's amazing. She's super sweet. She kind of like told us her whole bio whenever she emailed us to kind of ask us to be in it, but she like writes a lot of like queer stuff and kind of like abstracty kind of things that has to do with like
the show
art.
was like pretty abstract, but it wasn't hard to like understand the abstractness.
the
really.
kind of concept she was kind of going for.
Yeah.
So what had happened was she was originally going to bring her original cast that she had because at UT Austin they actually put on her show.
that's
Yeah, which I was like,
nice.
all right,
Nice.
work.
Yes.
But due to like financial like issues, she wasn't able to bring her people. So she'd asked all the 10-minute playwrights if we wanted to be in the reading.
glad she made it
So me
work.
and Savannah both were in that reading. We did little characters, and it was really well. She could tell she was really passionate about her story, and she was like super grateful that we were able to just like jump right in. I think they went really well.
Yeah.
So,
I saw
yeah,
it.
that's
It was
It'd be
really
interesting to
good.
see it on stage.
Yeah,
It seemed
we
like
were
it
just
was
sitting on
good.
stage
Yeah.
reading the play. So,
Yep.
yeah, it was good.
What else was there? Not like in KC. There was something I was gonna say, but I forgot. But y'all can fill it in. Do we want to talk about invited scenes?
Yeah, I can talk about
next?
invited scenes. So I'll just start with me and Edgar got like a text from Callie, like a a few days before we were going to leave, actually, for the festival. And she was like, hey, guys, we're going to perform a scene from Once Upon a Mattress at the festival. And me and Edgar were like, oh, okay. She was like, they want to see a Harry and Larkin scene, a Larry scene.
Larry.
And so we were like, okay, this is so fun. So
That's really good.
yeah, and so we were like, we could do the part of the show, like the scene going into In a Little While and that whole song. And Callie was like, yeah, that's only 5 minutes. And we were like, there's no way, that's 5 minutes. We were on stage for forever. What are you talking about? Yeah. But it was only 5 minutes. And so we met with Callie 1 or 2 times to like kind of talk about relearn blocking, which it came really quickly back to us. So it wasn't difficult at all to remember what was going on. But it was just so much fun to be like back into those characters and like Edgar's little like hair toss thing.
Comedic actor. Yes.
Yeah, the way he gets into character is really silly. I feel like Larkin's not too far off from me as a person, so I don't really feel like I needed to do such a drastic thing as Edgar did. But it was so much fun. And then the first night of the festival, we got to participate in the night of invited scenes, and there were 6 of us. There was one from I should probably pull up the list. Yeah,
I remember. There was Sam Houston from She Loves Me.
Yeah,
She Loves Me.
Yeah, and they did I Don't Know His Name, which loved that song.
It was quite good.
Yes,
I liked it.
It was cute.
No.
Well, I feel like
that
everyone's
show.
doing She Loves Me right now.
She Loves Me and She Kills Monsters. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I was like, right.
Were those the only 2 musical ones? Or am I
Yes,
crazy?
it was only those ones. But we had Dallas College that did one. Grambling State University did one. Grayson College did one. McNeese University did one. Then we had Sam Houston, and then we had Sul Ross State University. I remember theirs.
7.
Oh, well, one of them didn't go or something because there were only 6 of them. Yeah, there were 6 of them.
Yeah.
But then I do remember the one that was before us, and it was like the really, really intense one with the professor.
Where they were like wrestling back and forth.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I was like,
That was cool. I was like, ooh.
I kind of wanted to know the
invested.
backstory and the after
Yeah.
and what, because I was like,
Isn't that only like a 2-person show as well?
Yeah, it
like
is.
90 minutes of just them.
Yep. So it's draining. They were talking about how like how much of a toll that show is to do. But that was a good scene. And then me and Edgar went, and it was all like lighthearted and everything. But it was so much fun, and everyone was so supportive too.
Everyone was singing it
sitting in
afterwards.
all sitting in the audience and just cheering as loud as they possibly could for us. And we just felt so happy to like get to do it again, and it was really sweet. And everyone, like, we felt like celebrities afterwards, too, because everyone was like, oh, my gosh. I was like, and, like, people asked for our Instagrams and stuff afterwards, and we were like, guys.
No, yeah. People know when WT is in the building because we support each other very loudly.
The support system is
very
crazy.
loudly.
Well, that and also there was like 40 of us.
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much everyone that
go.
could came to the invited scenes, and it was so sweet. But yeah, that was a really, really fun thing to do. So, and that was like they were trying to reintroduce the invited scenes to each festival. So we didn't have any of those last year. But this year we had, the 6 of us. And then, so they're hoping to do even more of that next year. So, yeah.
So cool.
One thing we have not talked about is MTI.
Yeah, I think that's the last
thing that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 more things.
Yeah.
Ray, do you want to talk about MTIs?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so MTI, the Musical Theater Intensive.
I think it's initiative.
No, it's intensive.
Actually?
Boom.
I feel like...
I
did too, but then I remember seeing initiative one time.
I'm pretty sure it's
I mean,
they
both
said
of them
up.
kind of
We
mean
can-
the same thing.
Yeah.
They do. We
it's
can
an
keep
intensely
it.
initiative.
Yeah.
While she looks it up.
Basically, MTI is like Irene Ryan's, but for like musical theater stuff, so like singing instead of acting. I believe there were 13 of us at WT who submitted an application and auditioned in the prelims rounds. You had to bring 2 pieces, technically. The preliminary round was 2 16-bar cuts, so like 30 seconds of each song. The whole
I was wrong. It is intensive.
intensive.
Give me 50
It's
bucks.
intensive. I didn't bet anything.
$20.
I give you my hand.
I I didn't bet anything. Mwah, I'll take it.
But yeah, the preliminary round was you had to do 2 16-bar cuts from different songs that was not supposed to exceed 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And then from that, they took, I think they were supposed to take like 10 or 12, but they ended up taking 18 people.
They took
to-
18 to finals.
Yeah.
And last year
They
they
took-
ended up taking 20.
Yeah, we only had
Yeah.
2 rounds.
22.
They never stick to their word.
Irene
No,
Ryans
never.
had 3 rounds, but MTIs had 2 rounds,
two
right?
rounds.
Yeah.
But then they took 18 people to the finals. They didn't have a semi, so it was just straight up finals. And there were 5 people from WT
Yes.
Yes.
that made it on. It was Victoria.
Victoria.
And then it was Abigail,
Caleb.
Caleb, Logan, and
Morgan.
Morgan.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And they all performed. I think everyone did a fantastic
did
job.
so
both like
good.
in the prelims and in finals.
Yeah.
Like all 13 of us, I think, were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Us
we also had
Irene.
the little showcase, like we did for
Yeah,
Irene
yeah, we
Ryans
did.
before we left for the festival.
Yeah.
And it was just so good to see everyone's like talent and
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah.
I just felt so proud of
so
everyone, and we didn't get to watch everyone's performance, obviously. 'Cause
No, someone went on during Bull.
Yeah.
So like I was in
Yeah.
the 4th round because
Yeah.
Bull was covering the 1st and 2nd.
Yeah.
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 I know for finals, I walked in when Caleb was singing, so I got to see Caleb, Logan, Mo, and Victoria. I just missed Abigail in the
Yeah.
finals.
I was able to watch everyone, and they were fantastic.
They were so good.
I watched the whole thing. I think
Me too, yeah.
outside of like maybe 1 or 2 people, basically anyone in the finals, if they won, I was like, oh yeah, they totally
Made
deserve it.
sense.
I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the guy who won it also won it last year.
Yeah.
He was a 2-time
Last season.
champ.
Yeah, back-to-back champs. I forget his name.
Syroa.
Cyroa, Dwayne something.
Dwayne
Sasa.
Sasa. Yeah.
From Sam
We just
Houston.
call
From
him
Sam
Little
Houston.
Dwayne.
Sam Houston.
Lil
We call him
Dwayne.
Little Dwayne Johnson.
I was
He
like,
looks like
who's
Dwayne
this
Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock
Yeah.
Johnson people keep talking about? No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very talented guy from Sam Houston, and it was really fun. That one, it was kind of it was right after Irene Ryans, the final round of Irene Ryans, and so we had our little orientation for the final round, and then we got to talk to Mark, our accompanist, for like 5 minutes.
He was sweet.
He's sweet. But he's very professional. He's like
He was there to do a job.
he was. He really was. We were like, it did not take long at all, because we were like, okay, so like here's my music, blah blah, and he was like, okay, so here, okay, this is cool. We were like,
Yeah.
all right, okay, cool.
No,
and
it's
so
gonna be-
yeah, and then like right after we had like everyone had finished talking to Mark, it was time to like perform already, and some of us like. I'm pretty sure there were none of us that like fully warmed up beforehand. So we were like, oh, all right, yay. But I mean, it wasn't like a super tense thing where we were like, oh shoot, we're gonna do terribly because we didn't get to warm up. We just kind of like we warmed up a little bit, but we didn't get to go somewhere that we couldn't be heard. So like if we were to fully like perform and do stuff, they would have been able to hear us like from the audience. So we were kind of just like. Doing like little warm ups, in our little dressing room.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. We got to meet some of the other people from the other schools. And I was just sad that we couldn't actually hear everyone's performance from where we were at, because there wasn't like a speaker or anything. So we didn't get to hear everyone's, but I'm definitely sure that everyone did really, really well.
It was a very good finals. It was
a
a
really
very
good
good show.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Yeah, and everyone was super supportive too. Like after we were all done, we got to go out and say hi. And yeah, everyone was just super nice and complimentary. And then we had our little like responses afterwards, and they gave us some good ideas, like if we were to perform the songs again. And yeah, our respondents were pretty cool. We had a representative from Disney even.
Yes. Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Mr. Robbie Armitage. I don't know if I can actually leak that, so I might just have to like leak that out.
He's gonna be like, you used my government name.
Yeah, I know we've been name dropping this whole time, but that was the first one that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say that.
We had a man.
I'll think about
A
it.
man. But yeah,
man.
they were very blunt in a way that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because
It was like the hard, honest truth.
Yeah.
They didn't really beat around the bush, and I was like, I like that because I can genuinely use that.
Yeah.
They're not like, well, that was really good. If I could make a couple suggestions, they were like, you did good. This is what I didn't like. This is what I think you could improve on, stuff like that. And I was like, oh,
all right.
cool.
And that was
These are
refreshing to
great.
hear, for sure. So yeah, that was really nice. It just it was a long day, and it took forever for them to like, they had to deliberate first before they like responded to all the finalists, and they had 18 people to get through too. So we were just sitting there and waiting. So we were starving and exhausted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was
day.
it was a good day though. And then after that we had the final ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also had DTMs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our DTMs. So our design technology majors, anybody who participated or designed for a show was eligible to bring and showcase their work that they got and enter them into a competition, kind of like how we all did, but just for designs. They display their stuff, and then they have a presentation where they kind of talk about their process and what they brought. We had nobody from Sweeney. No, from Bowl, we had Noah. He was a costume designer for Pearl specifically. So we got to bring his stuff from Bowl and China Shop that he designed, and he got to display Pearl's costume for everybody to walk around and see.
He was a finalist, right? A DJ.
Yeah.
Not for Bowl though.
Oh.
It was for the
he-
lighting for mattress.
Yeah, for lighting for mattress.
Yeah.
Also for Bull, our stage manager, Ollie Folger, got to bring their stuff and kind of talk through their stage management book and everything. And then for Once Upon a Mattress, Noah again brought his lighting design for Once Upon a Mattress. And he made the finals for the DTM stuff
very
for his lighting design.
Yes, snaps and claps.
Which is so cool.
Yes.
And then, so he brought something, and then Raymar Ortiz was the lighting designer for Chico's Monsters, and he brought his stuff and displayed his stuff. And then Brooklyn Johnson. I was like, what's her last name?
Yeah.
Brooklyn Johnson she was a costume designer for Tilly, which is also Signa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Signa
It was
got two
funny.
of her
Signa
things
was like-
displayed.
It was like Signa
and they were
and
right
Signa.
next to each other.
They
Yeah.
were. It was everything.
Yeah, so Signa
so
played
fun.
Tilly and She Kills Monsters, so they had Tilly's outfit displayed as well as Brooklyn's, I think, hair and makeup designs along with that. So everybody from WT, no matter what aspect was involved, was able to participate in the festival.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of good representation, and we didn't sweep the competition or anything, but we
We got a good amount.
We made our
could,
marks
yeah.
there.
Yeah, we were definitely
did,
there.
we did.
I mean, we took the Golden Trust.
Yeah, we took the gold.
did.
Yeah. Yes. We work hard because we're
you, John.
a community.
Yeah.
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 And then the last thing in between, we just had workshops. There were tons and tons of workshops. Not everybody could go to a bunch of workshops because they were in something or supporting others. But there were some workshops around that some of us went to. I think I went to about 3. I went to the dramaturgy workshop. I went to the voice acting workshop, which was really cool. And he was just giving us tips on he was giving example cartoon characters or video game characters, and gave us 2 minutes to come up with a voice for that character, and then people would be like, I think they sound like this, or I think they sound like this, or something like that.
That's cool.
And then he was telling us places that you could go to start out, mics you could use, do's and don'ts for auditioning, for voice acting and stuff like that. Me and Angelica and Signa went to a graphic design poster workshop, and the guy there, he's very famous for his work, and he creates movie posters, and he was talking about the importance of that in theater, and how theater is magic, and you can embellish that magic in the posters. He was talking about all different kinds of posters for different types of movies. It was funny that he brought up he had slides, and he showed a slide with over 100 movies of the 90s rom-coms, which was negative white space with the guy and the girl just doing this, or the girl in the red dress. They're like this, and there's so many. I was I'm so glad I'm not the only one who's noticed that. He was just telling us, and then giving us advice on if you because posters are made for school productions, and how kind of during the theater process, that can kind of get swept under the rug or forgotten in some schools and stuff like that. So the importance of that, because he was like, that's kind of the first thing that people see to get to know your show before they even see the show. Mm-hmm. Like, that will make or break if they want to go to the show, because they're like, oh, this looks cool, or oh, like, I don't really know what this is about, never mind. So I really liked it. I also went to a Building Your Brand workshop with a woman named Yesenia. I forgot her last name, but she is a professor at Texas State. And she was basically talking about like building your brand as an artist, because as artists, we are very much self-sufficient and self-advocating for our careers. So she was talking about like, have you really thought about how you want to market yourself, building your brand, if you're going to go with your government name or your stage name? Like, Bruno Mars's first name is actually Peter. But like, yeah, it's like Peter something.
Peter. God, he's Bruno.
Yes.
Yeah. That fits him so much better.
Peter something. But he didn't want to go by his name because he knew if they knew his real name, he would be put in a lot of Latin stuff, and he wanted his music to be like for everybody. The Beyonce, that's her real name, but she only goes by her first name and all this. So we were all talking about things like that. And we got like really good notes on building your brand and really thinking about it, especially whether you're a freshman or a senior. Like, this is the time to think about how you want to appear online and offline. So those are the workshops that I went to. If anybody had any other workshops that they went to.
I remember going to the improv workshop.
Oh yeah, I went to that too.
Improvisation for the stage and camera.
That was really interesting. There was the big portion of it was like commercial auditions, which is something that I haven't really thought about much, but it is good to like know. He said that you're selling yourself basically, so just anything you can do to make yourself more memorable, and anytime he talked about specifically anytime they like ask you a question, you want to try to kind of answer it in a way that gives them a taste of your personality, not just like oh, how's your day? Oh, it's been good. Like he said that they fully like they want to get to know you like through those questions. So just doing that, and then there were some interesting games that he played. It was more difficult. It was more difficult to learn because there were like the people that volunteered over and over again. So it was, but like it gave us some like good things to kind of think about for sure. And I really liked the guy that ran it. He was very straightforward.
And funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
That one, and then I went to like the Disney audition workshop. It was mostly just informational, like the different jobs you could get through Disney, and how it's like really consistent. Like the presenter, who was also one of the selectors for MTIs, talked about how he had gone like back to Disney like several times during his career because he like because the network there is so strong. So that was some really good information to get to know, and I definitely do want to audition for Disney sometime. Yeah, don't know when or whatever, but yeah. But those are the only two that I really got to go to.
Yeah, for the Disney one, because I think you left a little bit early.
Yeah, I
you
had to go for Irene's
stuff to do. But like literally the way he ran it was like 5 minutes of explaining like his life story about auditioning for things and how Disney played a part in it, and then like a 10 to 15 minute presentation worth of like how to audition for Disney. And then the rest was like, all right, for the rest of the time, feel free to like ask me questions. And it turned into like a Q&A, and we filled up the time.
That's
like
good.
With just not only just good questions, but like he gave good in-depth answers. I feel like I learned a lot out of it, even though like the whole presentation part of it was just 20 minutes. And then also kind of cheating wise, because we had MTI prelims at that point already, but I didn't advance to the finals, but he was one of the judges for it. So a couple of us stayed back afterwards and were like, hey, I don't know if you're allowed to do this or not, but could you give us our notes from the prelims? And he was like, okay, sure. And so he did, and he was really honest with us, which was nice. So I learned a lot from that guy. I learned a lot from that workshop in a variety of ways. So shout out that one. Yeah, the improv workshop I also went to, I think the main thing
Yeah.
I learned is, well, he has some good info and stuff like that, but I think the main thing I learned was the improv troupe at West Texas A&M University is very talented and very funny.
Yes, yes.
Come
Make
to
it that-
our
We are
improv
all
Make
in
it
the
that.
improv agents, all of us. Hi. Yes.
Yeah.
Come to our show.
Yeah. I also had to leave that one a little bit early because I also went to this other workshop that was about journalism advocacy in the theater.
Cool.
I only went to that one. There was supposed to be multiple because it was like its own thing, and like the workshop I went to was really just an orientation where like the one running it kind of like told their story of like how they unconventionally got into like theater journalism. And then we like kind of shared our own stories of like why we're there, like why we're at that workshop or whatever, and just like talking about stuff. And then there were supposed to be other sessions throughout the week, but like the first 2 sessions we were either at like Bull in a China Shop load and load out or at MTI prelims. So I went up to the lady and I was like, hey, could you like email me the notes? This is like my contact info, stuff like that. And she never got back to me. So I was like, well, there's no point in going to any of the other ones because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's also like 6 of us in total. So I will definitely be a sore thumb not knowing what's going on.
Right.
So I was just like, whatever, bite the bullet and move on.
Yeah, there were a lot of workshops at KCACTF that were like back to back or right on top of each other. So there were a lot that like a lot of us wanted to go to, but were unable because of a conflict or because timing wise, and you just had to choose one. One other thing that was at KCAC was Next Step. I wasn't a part of. I didn't do Next Step, but it's if you are interested in doing Next Step, it's basically an opportunity to work a summer stock or an internship after you graduate or like during the summer in between school, and you can go to, there's like different places all around the world, different companies that come, so you can audition for them, you can get callbacks from them, internships. We have some people who have done Next Step and was a part of a summer stock outside of the state, so it's a really good opportunity and really good networking if you're interested.
Yeah, for that it's also another self-tape.
Yeah.
So we had to do like a minute monologue and then like a 32-bar cut of a song if you wanted to be considered for like musicals and stuff. If not, it would just be like 2 contrasting monologues. And so with that, there wasn't any like callbacks in person at the festival.
There was one, but
there was one.
that
It was
one- that one
informational
really liked.
more so. Yeah. But then there were like they would reach out to you via email and basically like invite you to apply for their summer stock, or like ask for more information from you. So that's all that was really. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing at the
I
festival.
didn't really get anything from it, but I sent something out there so people might know who I am now.
That is true. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the last thing, other than the fact that WT had a really good time with each other, like it was really fun getting to hang out with each other. I don't know if I can say this. I don't know. Callie brought a surprise guest kind of friend. His name is Ebrin, and he is actually currently Hercules Mulligan for Hamilton. So the last night at our hotel, we got to, like a lot of us got to sit down and talk to him and ask for advice and coming into the theatrical industry or just the entertainment industry in general. He told his story and his recommendations and suggestions. And it was really like realistic and helpful, and I liked hearing from an outside source and someone who is really passionate about their art and trying to fight for his place in the industry, talk about it. So we also got good feedback and information from him as well.
And Callie brought him in to run a workshop for the Irene Ryan nominees that did not move on to the next round. So I'm not sure how that workshop went, but that was really cool that they got to get feedback from him and like perform their monologues or scene, whatever they wanted to do. So that's why Callie brought him in, but she was also like, this is one of my friends from college. So it was really cool to meet and talk to him for the time he was there, and he got to watch Bull in a China Shop. And he got to watch the Irene semifinals. Yeah.
Yeah, he loved Bull. The compliment that stuck with me that he gave to us was like, sometimes he goes to shows and he can tell like it's a university production or a school production, or he's worked off Broadway and he's sometimes like, how did y'all make it here, or something like that. But he understood the professionalism and heart that we put in the show. He said he was immersed in it the whole time. It really felt like something professional. Like he forgot it was like a school production.
He sat in the front row.
Oh, I think he was the one that stood up immediately
because we have
I do.
We have a video.
Yeah. I was like, who's that man?
Final like bows and stuff, and he like stood up like so.
And
quickly,
he was
like.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was like, who is this man? And no, it was funny because what was it, during MTIs, he was like sitting in the like aisle next to us, and I didn't know who he was, so I just saw this man go. Every single time I passed by, he was, and I was like, oh, Callie, who is this? But he was really, really sweet. Long story short, KCACTF was exhausting, but it was very fun, and we learned a lot. It very much gave us the opportunity to learn new things, to learn things about our art, to understand truly that art is subjective, and you should, more than anyone else, appreciate the art that you make for yourself. I think in our previous episode, talking about artistic expression and the importance of that, and getting caught up in people's critiques about your art, can really show whenever art is put on a competitive stand. So I would say, out of anything, don't be afraid to showcase your work, but don't be afraid to be proud of it at the end of the day.
Period. And we also learned that WT is just the best.
We're the best. We'll be a part of anything.
We have such a good program, guys, and we forget about that.
We take it for granted sometimes. We're like,
we forget until we go to like a big melting pot of like different college departments, and we're like, oh wait, guys.
I'm like, WT Theater needs more rep because we're that girl. Respectfully.
Yeah, so if you get the chance to go to KCACTF in the future, definitely take it. It's a very good experience to have.
Memories made.
Ooh, 1 hour and 23 minutes.
This is a long one.
It was long. We thought it was going to be short.
It's because we got a lot of good stuff to share.
Yeah.
I figured this one would be our longest episode.
I thought it would be like
Really?
45 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
But
Yeah, that was our overall summary of what went on at KC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good week.
But now we're back. Dip is officially back. Well, I mean, we're kind of still on the same schedule. This might be a week later. I actually don't remember the timeline. It doesn't matter, but whatever.
It'll be posted.
Yeah, whatever the
Women's
case
History
is.
Month.
Yay!
Yes,
We're in
yes.
March.
For the women. March for the women. Yes.
So yeah, please like and subscribe. I know you already commented like your favorite acronym, but this time comment your favorite thing about theater. Down in the comments.
How sweet.
To let us know you watched all
Every single
hour
day.
and 25 minutes of this, or however long this episode is.
We'll call them out.
Yes. Keep in touch with like all the future WT things. Rumors is happening in April. Improv agents still have the things going on throughout the semester. So
We'll be having
we're not done yet.
discussion coming up soon, probably.
Yes.
Well,
In March,
yeah, we will.
a women's discussion. Maybe we'll do a podcast talking about how that went.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you feel so led, check out Mr. Bart McFergan on
This
YouTube
girl. So lit. You're like, love
so
off.
for some good stop motion content.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love stop motion. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
The grind never stops. No, spring break is the week after next.
Oh my gosh, who's ready?
I'm ready to go home for a little bit.
I'm so ready. I need
Get
to
some
reach.
homemade cooking.
Yes.
Aw.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, but anyways,
nice.
that's our podcast episode.
Thanks for
Thank you so
joining
much
us,
for
y'all.
watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.